for a moment and see if it comes through. There we go. Something's coming through. Don't quite know what yet, right enough, but there we go. Okay, awesome. So we've got something there. And let's check on our YouTubes. Awesome. I just got a notification on my other system saying that we went live. That's good. Definitely appear to be on the live side of things. So I shall go check on my tablet to check other resolutions. And while I do that, I will have Unity opening. Because we know Unity takes ages. Okay, so you can see I've been doing some testing off stream. But today we're going to be working on brain drain. Okay. While that's doing that, I shall go check. Yep, looks like we're live. Awesome. Everything looking good so far. Do my final checks. I don't have the YouTube app installed on one of my tablets, so that's not good. Shall fix that later. Okay, so I think everything's in order. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Amax Games. This is the 10th stream in this series, and it's 2 Idiots Learn to Code Brain Drain series. So in this series, I have battled with AI and battled with my lack of knowledge in coding. And the object of the game, effectively, is to have an Android and iOS-based game released later on at some point into the market, and to see if indeed AI can replace developers. I've seen some pitfalls so far. I've had some excellent help so far. I've also hit a lot of problems I wasn't expecting. So when you seen my Unity Hub pop up earlier on, for those of you who've seen it, my Unity Hub was basically showing that I had a couple of projects that I haven't streamed. And the reason that I haven't streamed them is basically because I was struggling. I spent several days working on a problem, only to find out that the problem was inside Unity's simulator and not actually my code. So this was all to do with integrating ads and the monetization aspects of things. So it really does seem that ad integration is like the last thing that you really should consider in a game. I believe I've worked my way around them now, but it did spark a separate series, which we're hopefully going to call "We Don't Need No Education," from obviously the Pink Floyd song, but "don't" and "no" scored out in the thumbnail. And it's where we actually try something like this where we might not make much progress, but we'll stream the process. The whole idea of Amax Games streaming these things was obviously for a potential eventual second source of income, but also to actually show that it's not all, rainbows and sunny days when you're actually doing this stuff and you're starting from fresh. So, as mentioned earlier on, I'm Amax Games. I'm Amax Davie. I'm one of the two idiots learning to code from this series. The other idiot may join at a later date. I do not know. He's been struggling to actually find the time between his day job in order to do any streams. But hopefully you will soon be seeing streams from both of us going forward as we work on separate games, or we get together and have meetings about games that we are currently working on. The idea behind any of Amax Games games is pretty simple, and that is that while we are free games, we are freemium games effectively, I believe the term is, and we are ad supported, the ads should not really get too much in the way, so it should be ethical. Our in-app purchases are capped at a price point, and we're going to do our best to make sure that we're not like EA, just treating our customers like walking wallets, or pretty much any manufacturer there. EA gets a bad rep for it because of games like The Sims and FIFA, but at the end of the day, they're all trying to do it. BMW tried to make a subscription service for its heated seats, So with that in mind, let's get back to our game for this one. I've been waffling on for far too long as it is. So no, I don't want to do that just now. Okay, so when you left us last time, we were working on not this screen. We were working on our main menu scene. And the main menu scene, it was the stats panel that we were adding things to. So if I open up our stats panel, you can see we've got answered total, accuracy, high score, number of games you've played, number of questions in the database, the app version, the DB version, in case they're different, they more than likely will be going forward, to be fair. Although I might try and keep the two of them in sync just for ease of use purposes. Quick check is an internet check, a deep check is a deeper internet check, and ad block. So I want to detect if people are using ad block. At the moment, I'm not blocking anybody who's using ad block. And these are just things that I'm trying to implement. The idea here is that we build this game and hopefully have a framework where the main game itself changes, but things like checking internet access, checking for ads, integrating ads, etc. is all already built in. So if I recall correctly, some of these weren't working last time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and play some games, and then we shall see if those are working. So I'll just hit play. Okay, so it's an interesting error. I've not seen that before. I love Unity. So let's go. Just pull up our stats. Okay, so one question, one answer. High score 0, although shouldn't my high score be 1? That's probably because I abandoned it during testing. I have internet, both checks show it. It does think I'm ad blocked though, that's interesting. So I will need to look into that. I'll close that button. Oh, I'm in hardcore mode. That wasn't what I meant. Never mind. Okay. I think I'm going to need to add some volume controls to this. So maybe a settings panel could be something worth adding. So I'll try and do 10 of these. Obviously the answer populating here is purely about me making this easy to test. This will not populate in the same game, and I just died because I was too busy gabbing. Cool. Right, so we've got a play again option and we've got a quit option. So if I hit quit, if I go to stats, yeah, my stats are working. My high score's not been saved. That's interesting. Okay. Let's try a round mode. See if it's where things are being saved. That's the problem. Okay, we're heading towards our 10th. Yay! Do my quit now. Okay, let's try quitting again. Because my double click. Games completed. Okay, so games completed is when my high score is still not working. Okay, so let's go back to our chat GPT and just say my high score is not updating in my stats panel. See what it says. Okay, so we're looking for some place to update the high score. So let's go back to our code. Let's stop playing this just now. I'll open our code in an editor and we'll have a look. I'm sure this was working, so it's probably something else we've been faffing with that's broken. So go back to scripts. So I'll just open brain drain to start with. Oh, looks like it's opened them all, I think. Yep, it has. Awesome. Right, so let's just bring this in. So I suppose the easy way to try and find it, since this script got quite big, is do Control F and search for high score. Okay, so I've got multiple high scores. That could be part of the problem. So right, so I need another one in there. I need a survival high score start. So high score, just right click and duplicate. And click on it, right click and rename. And take off the bracket one and call it survival. Okay, so we have a survival high score. So is it stats canvas? Stats manager. Okay. So we'll go back to our guru and go, it looks like I'm not saving the lag on that, man. Survival high score. Okay, so I do want separate high scores. Okay, I want them in separate texts to be fair. But I should be able to work this out. So let's go back to save high score. Is it there? Let's see. Again, let's go up here, save. Oops. Save. No, no, no. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, so there's no save high score. So that's fine. So I think that should drop in there. Okay, so it's taking a string, rather it's saving a string and taking an integer, I think, if I'm reading that correctly. So the string is high score and then mode. And if current high score player clicks is get integer key. Okay, so it's also changing how it's storing it. If the score is greater than the current high score, then player dot set integer, so it's changing the key, which will be obviously either survival, survival hardcore, or round. New high score for mode. Okay, right. So that looks fine. So we need save high score at the end of round mode. Okay. So start game. Game. Hot accuracy. Okay, so there already was a survival high score. Just not hardcore survival hard score, high score. Right, okay. So it loads a high score. If your current score is greater than the high score, then it saves it. Okay, so does that mean, let's just comment that one out just now. Put that in there. So say if I score, actually no, that'd be survival. Actually, that's not going to work because you're passing it in the round. So it's only going in there if it's survival game mode. So where's it saving now? So update score user interface. Updating total correct answers. Okay, let's see, where's the best place to put this in? So, okay. Okay. Score gets set to 0. Okay, maybe that's right at the beginning, so that's fine. And loads random question. Okay. Reveal answer. Check answer. Okay, if answer is correct, then increase the total correct answers. And it increases the score. Okay, if it's wrong, we play the sound. Okay, so I think that doesn't distinguish if it's hardcore or not. Okay, so that's not going to be quite as easy to change. Okay. So save that for now. Okay, so what is my full name quiz.cs now? With these changes. Have it try and calculate it for me. Okay, that's a nice clean way to do it, actually, a lot cleaner than my retrofitted way of doing it. So it's basically set round mode, and then it's doing is survival, is hardcore, setting the number of lives, and then we start running the restart game. It's still showing me the answer if it's in there. Okay, so we'll copy that. Control V. Save. Oh, cancel. Where has it added the stupid little icons? Actually, oh, too much. It saved it. Never mind. Okay. It was in comments, wasn't it? It's there. Okay, but I did see you get random question was different there. So in the stats control panel, do you know what, that actually kind of works. Just put it all in one for the time being. Let's do that. So go to stats panel. Wrong bracket. Cool. So again, control H, not control, what the heck I just did. H, disappear. Set that high again. Okay, that was the old way of doing it. Okay. So hopefully, if I just comment this out and paste this one in and save, jump back into Unity. Okay, and play that. And there we go. Oh. Let's not get random question, is it? I had this before. I think I need to update my code in it because I think it's now getting confused. I've made so many changes. Okay, let's go back to our code and we'll just tell it what's underlined. I suspect it's because it's get random questions. Right, okay, so it needs my code updated because obviously that's not how the games function at the moment. Can I Control Z my way out of this? Yeah. Probably can. Yeah, that looks correct. Okay, so let's see what it's calling instead. Okay, so it's calling get random question excluding to get the question. Right, so if I go back here and try copying this again, Control A, Control V, get rid of the stupid little icon because it's forgot I said not to use Unicode. Save that, and remember it's get random question excluding. If I can find out where that is. Okay, and change whatever this is. That's why you can't find the underline. That's why you can't find the underline. You're looking at the wrong one. That's still not finding it. Is it called Quiz Database Manager? Um, what am I missing? I'm missing a sign in that because the Quiz Database Manager is not available in the main menu about that. So it's going to do that in a minute. Why is that valid? See this one. Go to scenes. Go to game scene. No, Quiz Database Manager isn't that scene. Okay. So I think that's what's missing from the previous one. Okay. So right click, create empty, name. I'm going to turn the light on because it's got very dark here all of a sudden. One moment. There we go. Use database. Database manager. Go back to our scripts. Cause database manager script. Yeah, that didn't work. It did. Okay, does that work? Nope. Okay, so why is it not finding Quiz Database Manager? Yeah, okay, so back to here. Oops. Get random question would not work because it's got to be for the list of questions already asked. Okay, so let's just add get random question then. Just, oh, I do have to get. Okay. Right. See what it's done. Okay, so it's saying that I can either query this, which is querying the database directly, or I can get 10 random questions, feed the parameter in of 1, and then return the first or default result. So that's actually the better option here from a system usage perspective or resource usage perspective. Okay, sweet. It's asking if it wants me to, if I want it to rewrite it. So I'll say yes, go for it. Yes, refactor. Refactor. Right. Okay, so go back over here. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's replace that. Save that in there. It said, do you want me to update your stats panel? So yes, update stats panel controller, and we also split the high scores into a line for each mode within. So if we'll do that, so I think what was interesting here is AI wasn't telling me that the database manager was not accessible from where I was trying to access it, and that was a problem, but I managed to work that out. Again, I'm learning from using AI. I'm not 100% reliant on AI anymore, which I was to start with. Do that. Oof. No, Control Z, that's the one I just nuked out. Okay. So save that. My brain drain. I did need to make an edit in here. It was just get random question, wasn't it? There's a new one we added. Yep, there we go. That's that fixed it. Jump back in. I'll see if I broke it again. Dun, dun, dun. I don't really know how old a library I can target. Is it player settings? I can check that. Check settings. Where's API target level? 22 is lollipop. That is a bit kind of. Let's have a look at my old phone, see what version of Android it's on. The one I've been doing all my testing on, although I'm also testing on a tablet as well just now. So let me check settings. About the phone. Software information. Android version 9. So this is an Android Pie. So I can probably push this to Android Pie. Okay. Right, sweet. So, what do I need? I need to test the stats in a moment, but I will probably have to get my stats manager. Yep. Run button, survival button, and hardcore button. And no, they're fine. Yeah, they've got around high scores. So I need to open stats panel. And I've got total, I've got high score. Oh, the other high scores disappeared. Okay, so I'll just duplicate this twice. And we'll do rename. No, we'll do rename. And we'll survival. And we'll rename this one hardcore. Okay, so now back to the stats panel, stats manager, and we've got high score, for round high score, survival high score, and hardcore high score. Okay, so that's him now set as well. So hopefully when I hit play, you should work. I don't have my mobile nearby, I should probably have my mobile. Okay, click on stats, round high score, survival high score, and hardcore high score. Awesome. Everything else. Everything else looks like it's working, but it's not done the internet trick for some reason. So let's stop that. Why no internet check? For some reason. So let's stop that. Why no internet check? So no internet check thing is a bit interesting, to be honest. Did it remove them when I had it update the stats panel? Is that what happened? I'll go check my phone in a moment anyway. Still checking ad scripts. Okay, so yeah. So I've removed functionality from my game now. Yeah, okay. Oh, I wasn't aware that we were in the game. Okay, so in that case, I need to tell it about my internet check script. Check script. Check for ad blockers and internet check checks. Okay, so it suggests I make changes to this. So I'll copy that. Let's see. Just dumping this in works. Don't add any of its usual little tickies. Doesn't look like it. So let's save that. Okay, go back here. Check our internet manager. Need to find out where the ad script's been called on to, so. Because there's no ads in it at the moment. Okay, so Internet Manager. Check that script. Script loaded. References for ad blocks. That's right. Add a text box or split internet check into deep click. Display internet check or deep click. Considering this was like a 46-line script, that just shows you how making very simple changes can completely blow this out of the water. Okay, Control V. That's 134 just for that. Save that and go back to AI. Go back to AI, go back to UI. Okay, there we go. So we've quick check text, deep check text, and add block text. And does that mean that they're not needed? They're not in there anyway. They're not in there anyway. Okay. So hopefully we're going to hit play. This workies. I think the command invoking failures because I've not got an Android connected to it just now. So stats. Okay, quick check and deep check. Ads blocked or unavailable. 2 questions in the database. Everything else looks fine. Oops, what am I meant to do? Never mind, let's play some hardcore. Check everything else sounds fine. I like this still showing me below end. Okay. We'll go with saying that that's fixed for now. Oh, quit button's not working. Interesting. Why did the quit button not work? So this is probably again custom code that I wrote between ChatGPT. If you remember, I ran out of tokens for ChatGPT 5, so I started a new conversation and then explained how to add things, or asked it how to add things, and then was doing that separate to the main brain drain code. So that'll be how that's happened. Yeah. So I need to find out why that quit button's not working. It'd be nice to have a multi-scene situation where you can actually see each scene, where you can jump between scenes, maybe different tabs, something like that. There could be something like that, or maybe just not good enough, shall we say. Okay, so database manager, quiz manager, quiz manager. So So I have a canvas. We have a quit button. Okay, so yeah, the code for quitting has disappeared because it wasn't actually there. Or rather, it's no longer there. Okay. Okay, what script was that actually part of? So it was a quiz manager. Okay, so brain drain quiz script, right? So that's why I broke it. Oh, no way, I'm out of things. We'll go with a new chat. How do I add a quit to main menu option on a button in Unity? I think they've reduced the amount of requests that you get because that's literally under an hour the last twice I've tried to do this that I'm hitting that limit. I think they've drastically reduced the amount of requests you get before it complains. I wouldn't call it quit game, I'd call it quit to main menu. That's better. Quit. Okay, actually, quit game is a complete quit game. This one is quit to main menu. I think it's called main menu, isn't it? Let's go back here. It's called main menu C. Yeah. Okay. So if I save this, and go to that's not that panel. I need to go back to game scene. I need to go into my main camera. Where I put the canvas in the main camera actually. I mean it's working, so I'm not going to complain, but okay, I'll go to brain drain quiz and go to the menu. Okay. Save. So now when I run, I was intending to stream for another hour at least tonight. Hitting ChatGPT's limits kind of tapered that a bit. So, okay, we're inside our game. I've got quit. Takes me to the main menu. It's awesome. So, or quit button. Sweet. Right. So, I need to find the add script. I need to know the add script's coming in because I want rid of that error because we're not running ads in this at the moment, so I don't know why it would be complaining about that. So something must be connected to an add script from when I tried it the first time and it failed miserably. It's not in there. Game scene, it's not there. Audio source, no. Quiz manager, no. Game button, no. No. Oh, okay, so there's a reset button now. The reset button's for deleting all my player prefs. And I've completely screwed that from all the copying and pasting I've done today. So this is another example of something that I'd added that I need to put back in. So let's go back to Brain quiz. Right. Just delete that behavior. But just not for the time being. I'm just going to delete that. Okay. It didn't work, so it's already playing. See, little things. Right, I'm going to go get my phone. I shall be back in a moment. Okay, do you know what we can do? I know what we can do. So, okay, let's get rid of a few things. Let's just check the advert one's not there. And then I know what we can do to try and put our reset button back to functional. Okay, looks like the ads aren't there now. Sweet. Right. So, come on. Right. So, if I go back to ChatGPT, okay, I have the following code. I want to create a button, not create, a button that resets all player prefs. Um, to be fair, just completely nuking them like that would probably work. Awesome. Okay, so I'm back over here. Okay, save that. Go back to a reset button. Go to brain drain and reset player prefs. Awesome. See, that was a nice little win. Nice and easy win. How many lines of code do we have now? What do we think? So, got 133. I'll pull up a calculator for this, just for shits and giggles. Wow. I'm blind, I'm blind, I'm blind. Okay, so 133 plus 23. 184. 49. 14. I actually thought it was bigger than this. This is quite surprising. Plus 269. 28. 99. Wow. 799 lines. I actually thought it'd be over 1,000. That's interesting. Okay. So what else can we do? Let's just play. Okay. What I'll do is I'll ask it to give me a basic cross-platform in-app purchase store. And we'll see if it can do that. Let's see. That's interesting. It's interesting. It only shows you the iOS one. Yes, give me a. No, I don't think. Should we use a Unity store app purchase? English is hard. Should I have it create a prefab for us? I suppose it'd be interesting to test. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back here because I think I have version control in Unity turned on in this. I do. So, oh, our chief security officer's back. You coming up? Up, up. No. Okay, so I will add to this. So what has changed? Stats panel updated, quit and reset included. Internet check added and add block. Check added. Okay, let's check them in. Come. There we go. You're an old man. Jumping in my lap's getting hard, isn't it? The Chief Security Officer has returned to my lap. Okay, so now that we've done that, I can close this. Come on. Did that close? It closed all of Unity. Oh, no, it didn't. No, it did. Actually, that's my other test thing that I was looking at. Awesome. Right. Let's close that. And we shall wait 13 years to reopen Unity. Come on. Has anybody tried using Unity on a Mac? I think because we're trying to do cross-platform, using a Mac might be an option for us going forward. Come on. What the f is this doing? Okay, let's try opening Brain Drain again. Our Chief Security Officer is covered in little sticky things. Yes. That's the cost of keeping Amax Games property mouse free. While it's doing that, I'll do can you create the prefab? Please. This is new. I've not seen it do this before. Okay, so it's conceptual, so it might not work. Okay. So it created a prefab and then says it can make a ready to use one. So let's try that. So I can attach the prefab to a canvas and test it immediately. Okay, so how boxes be closed to graphics list manager. It's a store title and background. Okay. So presumably these two things go together. It's not told me exactly how this is helpful, right? But let's copy it. So I don't know what prefab. How should I save this? Let's see what it says. Okay, so it's popped up another warning. So I'm guessing that this isn't going to be dropping. Okay, right, that's I suppose fair enough. So it would be able to help us, just not quite the way I intended. So right. Yeah, so it's even when it's saying ready to drop in model, it's not giving you a ready to drop in model. Okay. What else could I potentially add? I could turn the scoring systems into coins, which could be useful for future in-app purchases. That could be an option. Right, okay, I'll tell you what, why don't we, since this really didn't kind of do what we were hoping to, let's ask it. I have a quiz game written in Unity. It has a SQL database of questions and 3 game modes. Round mode, hard, no, survival mode, and hardcore mode. How would what other things do you think I could add? Timed challenge, okay. So where's the next P system? Add integration, not transfer and cash, coins. Okay, premium pass for not add free gameplay. Single purchase license. Okay, so all of these have been considered. This is nothing new. Detailed stats, I'm kind of doing that to an extent. Okay, so it already shows the answers if you fail. Sound video feedback, what's that? Okay, so I've got some of that as well. Technically they're already cached, but I really don't want offline play because offline play removes my ability to show ads. But if you bought the ad-free version, it could go offline. That's a possibility. So dynamic difficulty is, yeah, okay. Mm. Um, so, yeah, I'll see what it comes up with. Give me a roadmap for improvements. Do you know what I'm going to do? Do I still have open? No, it's not that one. Okay. Let's head over to our site section. Okay, and inside our site section, I should probably add a favorite for this, to be honest. Okay, add a new Amax Games. We have resources, which is actually like our intranet. You can see some of our thoughts. However, if I go to projects, you can see our running projects just now. We can go to brain drain. Okay, and I can add some of these to our to-do list. So let's go back to suggestions. So we had timed questions, streaks. Hints would be a good one. Okay, let's just ask how do I have, okay, my database has a question and the answer for each line. What would you suggest I use to implement, or how do you suggest it be? How do you think I should implement hints? So what do we think? Watch an advert, get 3 hints. Definitely to integrate them. That's, I think, actually implementing all of these, but having it randomly select one. Well, not all of these, because removing wrong letters doesn't really work. Synonyms doesn't really work. But revealing the first letter, revealing the word count, and revealing the letters gradually. Okay. Right. Yeah. So if we go back here, spiky. Add in system. Add in app purchase shop. Add coins and rewards for use in shop. Add reward ads for hints or coins. That's probably a good start. So what other suggestions did it have for us? Okay, so no, because you're not capable of doing that. You're just talking crud. Okay, so what other options did it say? So doesn't reckon it should take long to put in app purchases and improve feedback, visual effects, animations for correct answers. We do animate. Well, we don't do an animation for a correct answer. We do a sound for a correct answer. So longest streak would be a good one. Yeah, so longest streak. Definitely one to look into. Content expansion. I'm intending to add an additional categories anyway. As you can see up the top, I was creating questions regarding specific TV shows for TV show packs. From these two up here. Yeah, AdWords, social and competitive features. See, I like this idea, but I'm not sure how to implement it for a brand new game because this stuff seems to be integrated into like Unity leaderboards and that, and there's a cost associated with that. So the cost associated with that would need to be offset by the adverts, and we don't know what we're doing until we implement the adverts. Like we don't know what our walking around money would be for at that point to implement these services. Leveling system could be a good idea because I already have categories for each of the questions. So the categories are split into 1 for easy, 2 for medium, 3 for hard. So maybe I should implement that into the scoring system. Should possibly also display the requirements for it. I should display whether or not it needs No, I should display the category, the difficulty level for each of the questions. After our Steam's new ice skins, maybe this is not something. So this is back to the walking wallet comment from earlier on. I don't get the point in this. Horse armor skins are not, it's not really a requirement for me. Average, don't know. Average response time. I suppose that you'd have to tie that in with the level, wouldn't you? Talking about multi-language, that'd be quite difficult because of the size of the database. It's currently at 1,035 questions, I think. Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure on that one. Yeah, the database queries probably could deal with being optimized at the moment. Seasonal events, okay. Challenge time tied to holiday promotion. Yep, integrate with analytics to track engagement, popular questions, and monetize performance. Okay. Definitely something for us to think about. So, when can I start using this again? It was 1:30 or something, wasn't it? Come on. There we go. Oops. 20 past 1. 20 to 2. Yeah, I'm not going to be awake for that, unfortunately. So, okay. I think I'm ending the stream a little early. We didn't achieve as much as I wanted to, but we did manage to add a close button. We did manage to fix the statistics. And we managed to add separate tracking for the hardcore mode and the survival mode. And we've poked around for in-app purchases and additional ideas. So we will look into these and see which options are viable and which ones may require additional discussions with Idiot John when he is available. So thank you for watching. As always, when I do these, I never know what I'm going to achieve to start with. I don't quite know yet if it's worth spending the money on a ChatGPT subscription. I don't know the difference between personal, to be fair, and plus, because it doesn't really tell you. Like, it doesn't tell me the limit. Why would you, if you can get a license for $20, why would you go for one for $200? I mean, I suppose that's unlimited messages and upload, but it doesn't tell you what my £20 gets me here. And the business one, says connect company's knowledge, Google Drive. So for the business one, you can have it save things to your Google Drive by the looks of it. Multi-factor authentication, capture meeting notes on Mac OS desktop. Interesting that Windows isn't there. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one yet. I think I see business has to be 2 or more users and it's billed annually. So, £25 a month doesn't seem like a lot. But obviously that's like £300 per year and we've got to buy 2 at a time. That's £600. The entire company's budget at the moment, if we were basing it on the amount of money that John and I have pledged to put in, that's more than half of our budget for the entire company just now. So Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Anyway, with that in mind, I'll leave the stream just now. I shall get it bagged and tagged and uploaded to the website, and we shall see where we go with the next one, um, and what we're going to do next. So with that in mind, thank you for your time, and have a good weekend.